I'm here to show you how to make my magnificent chicken noodle soup. The first thing you need to do is gather up your ingredients and your supplies. Ingredients would include parsley flakes, about 3 big handfuls full, and 6 to 8 bay leaves, which look like that, and salt and pepper to taste, about a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of onion, preferably by Tastefully Simple. Next you'll need are 2 whole chickens and also 2 packages of the 6-count chicken bouillon. Moore's brand is the best. So the rest of your ingredients would be potatoes, which really could be red, golden. I like to leave the skin on because that's where all the nutrients are. About 3 onions, about a bag of carrots here, and a stalk of celery. The supplies you'll need are a large pot about this size. You'll need a colander, and your utensils would be a pair of tongs, slotted spoon, and a ladle. Also, bowls will be needed to put your vegetables and your potatoes in once they've been rinsed. First thing, we want to clean our chicken. So we're going to open up the bag and begin rinsing the chicken off with cold water. Spread it open and pull out the insides, which is usually in a package. It's gross, but somebody's got to do it. It's good, it's good, it's good. So make sure there's no more pieces. Make sure you got all the pieces out and rinse off real good, and then put it place in your pot. Do it again with the second chicken. Cover the chicken in water. It's probably going to fill up mostly to the top, and that's okay. You want to put enough water so it covers the chicken. I'd say about a little less than half the pot, which it usually makes about that much stock. Okay, so when this is almost enough, right to the brim. Okay, now put your chicken pot on the stove and turn it on high. When it begins to boil, put it down to about medium high and let it slow cook boil for about 50 minutes. Right around 45 minutes, check to see if it's done. You can tell if it's done if the bone separates easily. As you can see, I've cut off each end of the celery stalks. I also got rid of the leaves in the middle because too much celery can overtake a soup. So you want to make bite-sized pieces. So this texture is very good. Okay, so you want to peel your carrots. Okay. Then you want to begin chopping in bite-sized pieces. Okay, and then we get to our onions. Now the way I like to chop the onions is peel the ends, cut the ends, and make a slit across, and it peels right off very nicely. Now I don't particularly like to cut onions, so I'm going to use a chopper. So you just want to kind of cut it in a little bit of chunks. want it about that consistency. You want to cut your potatoes, get your strainer ready. Cut your potatoes in about bite sizes like this. And like I said, I leave the skin on. That's the most nutritious part. And then after you have cut your potatoes, you rinse them off real good with cold water. Okay, well, we're doing good. It's definitely been boiling. It's boiling probably perfectly right now because of the salt that will take care of the blowover. So, but the top of my chicken isn't quite getting enough water boilage. So I'm gonna flip my bird with the chicken. This is crucial that you wear mitts, and sometimes you have to use a knife to flip it over. That way it's just nice and even. Okay, so one thing I left out was you're gonna need your noodles. So I would get, for a size of that amount of soup, 2 packages of home-style brand Pennsylvania Dutch home-style egg noodle. Okay, now that your water has come to a boil, you want to slowly add your first bag of noodles. And then give it a stir. And then your second batch of noodles. Now, I cook this separately. You could do it in your soup, but I do it separately because that way you can just pre-make the bowls. The noodles tend to dissipate after they've been in the soup, and this is just better this way for me. Now, once you go to drain your noodles, of course, use your pot holders, be real careful, but make sure your noodles are cold so you stop the cooking process. So even if it seems rinsed off, you need to go through with your hands while the water's running and get them completely cold so it will stop the cooking process. Otherwise, your noodles are going to be sticky. Okay, the chicken is done. The way you can tell is if the chicken breaks apart easily from the bone, as such, you know it's ready. So use your tongs and try to get the chicken out. If it flops all over the place, it's just the price you pay. Sometimes I use a slotted spoon on one end and the tongs on the other, and it usually can come out in one piece. Okay, so when you get your chicken out, go ahead and skim through your soup and get out any of the bay leaves. They're not to be eaten. Take them out now. Just kind of strain through. Make sure there's no bones, nothing you've forgotten. Now your pot should be about half full of water now, if not a little over, and that's about perfect. Okay, we also want to add about a teaspoon and a half of garlic, crushed garlic. So we want to add our carrots, celery, and onion. We want that to come to a boil and boil it for about 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes is fine. So here is our celery, our carrots, and our onion. Very carefully put in. And now we'll put in a capful of parsley. Once you've added the potatoes and they've boiled 3 to 5 minutes, then add your noodles and you'll have fantastic chicken noodle soup that warms the heart.